What the heck are we doing? We're doing an interview.
Just feel free of going in and out and in and out and in and out. It all works.
That's us. I'm rolling.
I'm rolling.
Great.
Fantastic.
All right.
I'm
moving out.
sitting. Marcus Troy. I am 62 and it is the 20th of September 2022.
1,603, I think.
God, the
I
beard is
lost
so
4,
much bigger.
but I gained 8.
Do you know off the top of your head?
No, look me up.
We've got 1806 now.
Oh, I gained 200? Oh, yay. In a whole year? That's shit.
It's a photo that Charles Chesler took in a photo shoot where I'm looking away and
Oh,
laughing, heartily
Oh, that's my
laughing,
most liked
because
photo or the
is
one that
very
everybody else
much
liked? Oh, this is still my most
me.
liked
Most
photo.
of the pictures that people take of me that are just candid shots have my mouth open laughing.
Yeah. That's still my most favorite photo. It's Randy's most favorite photo too. It's great. It's actually been really good. I have enjoyed seeing you guys and the people in the collective progress and grow and careers changes and all life stuff. It's really exciting to see, and it's so cool. It brings a lot of joy to my heart seeing people's stuff and progression and just growth. It's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah. Friendship, family, connection.
To me, truly, it means a greater hope for a better industry. This young group is representing and truly doing the work and starting to change that industry gives me great hope for not just the industry itself, but society at large, because it's really going to start showing stories. Like I think about my family in Moorfield. They don't go anywhere, right? I mean, they've been in this valley. This is where they are. Their exposure to the outside world is whatever they see on the TV. I mean, if it wasn't for me being gay and being so open about it, I'm their experience of that. And it's like, well, I'm not even the normal. There's so much more out there because of the way that I was raised that this generation can truly show to people that would otherwise not be exposed to others, and thereby expanding compassion.
Oh my God, we should have edited half of this out.
Knowledge, experience, questions. Blackwolves truly does give me great hope for the future of this industry. It just does.
That could have easily been said in two sound bites. What pontification, Jesus, how awful. The sad part is that's exactly who I am. And the family up there in West Virginia hasn't changed at all. Going up there for a wedding and hear the tumult over the Black Mermaid, the Little Mermaid thing. That's going to be interesting to hear.
The party scene that you guys were getting ready to film in Jacob's apartment, feeling the energy that was there first. Because once you hit that space, the energy that you guys had was astounding. And seeing the prep and seeing the seriousness, the business side of you, and then seeing the result of that, where it's just a big party. And everybody's having a great time, and it's all of that, and then recognizing that all of the work that went into that before, and all the work that went into that afterwards, it was really interesting. And it's a great memory for me. Yeah.
It's a lot. Honestly, I think helping you guys move into here, it's a good memory. It was work, it was craziness, it was sweaty, it was hot, but seeing the growth, again, it's all about growth. It's all about seeing everybody in their life changes and stuff. And you guys have had some major advancement and life changers. And, just being on the outskirts of that, watching and helping, and I mean that's kind of cool.
In Younger, they were shooting a scene and I was placed, and then they do a take, and then they cut, and then they come up, and the AD goes, I'm sorry, we've got to move you out. We're going to trade you out with another actor. And I was like, okay, right, I mean, fine, whatever. So they shift me and put another actor in. And then the AD comes back up and he goes, just so you know, you didn't do anything wrong, but you were drawing focus. Whenever the camera was rolling, all eyes went to you and not to the star, so we needed to move you. And I was like, well, then put me in the scene. But no, so there was that. There's been a lot of really interesting moments in this business, but yeah, so those are the ones that kind of stand out.
For this year, Colin in black and white. It was challenging. It was rewarding in so many ways. The story that was being told, the way it was being told through the vision of Ava DuVernay, who I find amazing as a director and as a person. Oh, shit. The story was difficult. So to have to put on that character and see these strong, powerful, proud men, and for me to have to go into a mindset of not seeing them as that was difficult. And I don't think we were getting it. And Ava actually asked us to talk. So we were ad-libbing. Everything that was in there is all ad-libbed from me going into understanding the history and that. And it got emotional. And she stopped and asked, are you okay? Do you need to take time? This is heavy stuff. We need to stop, then we stop. And I thought that was brilliant. For a director to understand actors and to be able to recognize what's going on, I thought that was amazing. And so that experience for me, for seeing her and her compassion for us as actors and understanding the emotion that we're feeling because of the context of what's happening, and to allow us to group and reset and that sort of thing in order to get the story right, I thought was amazing. And so that was a brilliant experience. I think the whole thing was done really, really well. Staying focused and steadfast in what I know is right for me. Blah, 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 blah.
Right now, I'm excited about the trajectory of our industry in that increased awareness of diversity, having actors who are the roles play the roles. That's exciting me. The one area that I'm still not very happy about is the lack of gay representation for gay characters. I will never fault Tom Hanks for Philadelphia. It was a brilliant performance. It would not have gotten the same recognition for the AIDS crisis had it not been Tom Hanks. I want a seat at the table. Let the best actor win the part. But don't say, oh no, they can't be there because they're gay and the industry won't accept a gay actor. Society will accept whatever the hell we put on the screen. We just have to educate them, and that's our job. And if the performance is going to resonate, then the performance is going to resonate. So let the best actor be cast, but give every actor the opportunity. That's my little soapbox right now. If we're going to do diversity training, if we're going to do diversity, make it across the board. Give everyone the same opportunities to be able to work.
Interestingly, Tom Hanks even said that now he would not even consider that role. It's inappropriate for him to even be considered for that role. Kudos to him for that.
I've always said my ultimate favorite is What's Up, Doc?
Yeah.
Because it's a screwball comedy, and I think the performances are brilliant. The writing was wonderful. The direction was wonderful. The wackiness was, I mean, it was just, it's such a fantastic screwball comedy out of the era of screwball comedies. So it stands on its own as a screwball comedy. Yeah, I really like What's Up, Doc. I think that the writing is extremely clever. I think the direction is fantastic. I think the performances were spot on. I find it to be a really, really well done movie. And comedy is difficult to do. And I think they did such a great job with it. It's my go-to.
I still love that movie. Whenever Randy's like, oh, every once in a while I'll pop out into the song and he's like, when's the last time you watched it? And I don't know. I like it. I also like To Have and Have Not, the writing on it of a real life couple, and then the display of their relationship through Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. I think it's just great. Sad part is you can't it's like even with What's Up, Doc, you got to pay to see them on streaming. So just own the freaking DVD. Put it in whatever you want. Pay money for the damn movie. I love the interviews. I love the stuff sitting down. I love the Tucci thing and all of that. I like when you guys are just sitting around riffing about, your recommendations for stuff and just talking. It's like sitting in your living room listening to family talk about stuff that they like. And it just it's comforting. The reds and the purples and the lavenders and things, just like it was last time. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. See what I'm wearing?
I'm leaning towards the purples.
See?
The aubergines, the lavenders, the mauves, that sort of thing. I mean, you can see, look at them. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of leaning to that. But because it goes so well with the grayness of the beard and the blue of the backdrop. So it seems to be a nice color palette for when doing auditions and things. Yeah.
Yeah. The industry's talked about getting away from the blue background. It's so dated and that sort of crap. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't go to a gray background because I wash out. You don't know where my hair starts and my beard ends and the background starts. It's all fucking gray. Everything's gray. So I'm like, no, I need a blue background or a colored background. And then you need to wear something, one that, brings you joy. And so I find that those colors tend to do that. Yeah. At the moment, yes. No. Not really. I mean, I do. Yes, I feel pressure in that there is, whenever you're on social media or you're recognizing and listening to what advice about your career advancement is, that you need to be active every day. You need to be focused. It's a job. So therefore, you have to go to work every day. Whether it's, a couple hours or whether it's 8 hours or whatever it's going to be, but you have to work at your craft every single day. If you're a singer, then you sing every day. If you're a runner, then you run, and have rest days, but you do something every day for that. And I'm in such a place of privilege that it's just such work to have to do that. So I put pressure on myself to go, I guess I should get on social media and interact with people today. I guess, I don't know. So yeah, that's as much pressure as I feel. I've started to put less pressure on myself and just recognize that the stuff happens when it's going to happen. So I think trying to advance it or force it or want it faster, I think I've taken the pressure off of myself from that, which I think we all feel at times. Being able to just sit and see that stuff's happening. What was going on last year as far as the jobs that I was getting and that sort of thing, compared to what's happening now, the number of auditions, the number of callbacks, the number of being cast or even considered has advanced. So that's an advancement in one's career. And so if you just sit and look at that realistically, strategically, calculating that, I think you'll see that stuff's happening and it helps relieve a lot of pressure.
I do, actually, yeah. The past couple of days, I've been feeling a lot of pressure of stagnation in my career,
See?
not doing enough to self-promote.
See?
I think a lot of pressure went away after the election, but there's still a long way to go. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a long way to go.
My husband says that I don't suffer fools lightly. I would say one of my major pet peeves are individuals that do not educate themselves in whatever the subject might be, and then make declarative statements and claim facts that are not, or make decisions for their lives that are ultimately potentially harmful. An example being that one of our concierge is a woman of color and was talking about the vaccine and that she doesn't want to take it. And she read a story about a woman who got the vaccine, and this woman was a doctor and died. And I said, well, where did you read the story? She goes, on my phone. I said, so the internet. Well, no, on my phone, but on your phone, on the internet. Did the story say what she died from? I mean, did it happen that she got the shot and then walked out of the building and was hit by a bus, but because she got the shot, it's a COVID problem because COVID vaccine problem, because had she not been there getting the vaccine, she wouldn't have stepped in front of the bus and happened to be passing by the place where she got the vaccine, for blaming the vaccine. What do we know she died from? And for you to use that as a reason to not get a vaccine when you are one of the higher risk categories, but because you read a story about something that now is just feeding into your fear, you're choosing not to educate yourself about the efficacy of the science behind the vaccine and choosing to endanger your life over something. And I kind of tossed my hands up because one, it makes me so angry, and I don't have a great filter, which is interesting being an actor, that I don't have a great filter. And so I just kind of had to throw my hands up and, well, just do your research, please, and here's a website to go look at. And so, yeah, I have a challenge with that.
It hasn't changed. No? Yeah, my God, no. There was another concierge, a new one, who was sitting down. She was raised in the former Soviet Union, and they moved here after perestroika, and she's angry about her daughter being, it's slavery, all the time, everything. And her daughter was getting upset because she was reading about how the enslaved persons were treated and beaten and humiliated, and she was getting upset about that, about why would that happen and why would people treat each other that way? And because this particular woman didn't have the answer to help explain, to ease the tumult that this child is feeling about this inhumanity to man, she got frustrated, and her solution was, well, then just stop talking about it. Let's just stop talking about it. So it kind of frustrated me, and she goes, that's all they talk about. That's all they're reading. And I said, so I explained to her, I said, well, your frustration is not in that's what's going on. That's what has to be discussed. And whether you experienced it in the Soviet Union or not, that's the history of America. And it has not gone away. And so it's something that we absolutely have to talk about and have to reckon with. Your challenge is figuring out how to ease your daughter's discomfort and pain over the inhumanity of what slavery is. That's the challenge you have. And if you're not capable of that, then it's not a discussion that you should be having with her. But trying to eliminate the subject because of the discomfort of it is not the solution. So that was the frustration. So there's always shit like that that goes on and then makes me a little crazy.
Calm the shit down. Actually,
Yeah.
Interestingly, it
Same
would have
thing.
been not to shave the beard. That is the only decision that I made that it's not a regret, because it really did teach me. And I don't believe in regrets. It's always a learning experience. And it was a choice that I made, discounting the truth of who I am and what I know my brand to be. And so that was the one thing, because then that set me back, because then I spent extra money on new headshots and extra money on footage and extra money and time. And so I find that listening to people who don't truly get you because it fits their formula of what they're selling, as opposed to recognizing that that's what their job is and how they're making their product work, which doesn't have anything necessarily to do with my product. And that if I'm going to have people on my team, they have to be able to get what my product is in order to be able to sell that product. I mean, Jen talks about the Shark Tank all the time. But if they don't understand the product, they're not going to invest in it and they're not going to be able to market it. And that doesn't mean that you've got to change your product. It's a damn good product. They're just not getting it. The Ring doorbell is a product everybody wanted. No one jumped on that shit. I'm the Ring doorbell. Nobody's jumping on this shit, but trust me, once people start to see how it works in their lives, it's going to be in every freaking household. I am the Ring doorbell.
I'll stand on your porch and I'll tell you who's going to be. I'll stand on your porch and announce whoever's there. Absolutely. That's funny. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. Because people still aren't getting it. The look is what it is. All right, so Randy always says that when I get bored, like I'll just get bored. And so I'll rearrange the furniture in the house. So he would have gone to work and he would come home and the living room is now the dining room and the dining room is now the living room, and I've put the sofa where the, fireplace is and moved the fireplace and the chimney to the other side of the house, and I picked the house of it, move it 3 feet to the left because the sun's better. Because I got bored. So that's what I do when I get bored. It's like, I think I'm going to shave the beard today. And so Randy's like, just stop. Just stop. Every time you do this, So the same thing, just breathe and stop.
Christina Baranski and Cynthia Nixon are standing behind me on the set of The Gilded Age and are talking about politics and what's happening in New York with this pandemic and that sort of stuff. And so I, of course, turn around, and you're not supposed to talk to them. But you don't talk to the stars, but it's like, oh, girl, I got an opinion about this. So I turned around and I said, excuse me for, interjecting into the conversation, but Ms. Baranski, I fully agree with you. This city is this city and will always be this city. And I said, but it's going to take some political leadership. And then I turned to Ms. Nixon and I said, but of course. To which Ms. Baranski said, well, I would really prefer her to stay my sister right now. But I said, well, there's always time.
Colin Kaepernick was kind of interesting. I mean, he's kind of big. Yeah. To be right there. Like, right there. That was kind of cool. Yeah.
You guys. Being on set with big names and all of that is really fantastic. But as far as exciting and passion in the work, there are things that your generation is doing, that you guys are doing. I kind of equate it to John Waters in the early days, where he was just making stuff because it was a passion and it was a joy and it was quirky and off and got an amazing following because of what it's saying and just the unique bizarreness of it, and that it really did push that into the norm, allowing, Hairspray to happen, which then becomes a musical, which then becomes Harvey Fierstein, which then becomes, there's that entire chain of events that occurs because of
God, I talk a lot.
young people who have a passion, who have a vision, and are doing their own shit, that then people start to recognize, and it does change. And I find that much more satisfying and much more fulfilling.
Oh, it's the same. Friends creating unique stuff, being able to support them and help them, and either through investing in the project because it's their dream project and it deserves to be made because it is that, or being able to lend my talent or space or whatever to help people achieve their dreams. I have no idea. I don't. I met a new artist that lives in our building. He does sculptural art, which is really kind of cool. It's fascinating. There's a woman that's actually our dog sitter that does pottery, and I'm enjoying looking at her stuff. Musically, I go back and forth to sort of the classics and the bluesy kind of people, but there's no one person. Film-wise, I don't know. I don't think I really have anyone in particular right this minute that I would say is my absolute ultimate favorite.
There is a couple of New York artists that I love. Johann Wallstrom, I find to be an amazing artist in its abstract, but also very politically motivated awareness art. David Paul Kay is also a wonderful artist in New York.
That hasn't changed.
I can't say his name, it's French.
He's
done some nice stuff. There's also a glass artist who does amazingly delicate work. Yeah. He's also on Facebook, Cremini, something like that. There's also a tattoo artist in New York, CJ Tattoo. His skin art is astounding, absolutely gorgeous.
Same. People that are living their dreams and living their passion. Same. Hasn't changed. I like emerging artists and I like local artists. I feel that you need to support your community in where you are, wherever you are, because that's your family, that's your home. So yeah, I absolutely believe in that. Yeah. Based on this, brevity. Brevity of thought, a little more clarity and directness when in an interview. I think that's the one thing that I've learned in this moment. Period. I'm practicing it right now. Scene. Find your tribe. Listen to the advice given. Temper it with your own judgment and your own goals in mind. Find those that will support you, but also those that will challenge you fairly and honestly. Yeah.
The advice for people in the field is the same advice that I would give in a relationship or in life. And that is one, first, know yourself. Know your truth. Do not discount that reality. Where you are now, that's going to change over time, but the truth and reality of who you are doesn't change. It's just the experiences and the abilities change over time. At your age, allow everything to happen. Experience as much as you possibly can. Feel the heartbreak, feel the euphoria, embrace every moment of it, and allow it to help you become and grow into that wholeness, so that later in life, when your partner presents themselves, or the opportunity for the work presents itself, or the challenge presents itself, that you are so sure and confident of who you are that you won't discount that out of the expectation of what that person, that job, that thing, outside source, that you're interpreting that that's what they want of you. Because that's when you fall into the trap, and that's when you make the mistake. I discounted myself with my previous partner. I said, why the hell did you do that? I got out of that relationship. I said, I will never, ever do that again. And a year later, walking down the street, this man I saw, and I knew immediately that's the one, and that's right. And I told him right up front, this is who I am. I am my mother, and we are not a kind and gentle people. My tongue will wound you because it is biting. But I know that you don't deserve that, and I will absolutely do my best to not do that, but I will fail. And if you can accept that and recognize that I know you don't deserve it, and I'm doing everything within my power to not be that person, then we'll be fine. But you need to know it up front that this is who I am. And he was able to do that, and I was able to become a more gentle, compassionate person because of that.
That hasn't changed. Know yourself first. Absolutely. Yeah. Same thing as before, just more inclusiveness, more expansion of realities, and embracing the differences of, and the reality of the differences of our society and the challenges of our society, and not shying away from, not listening to the voices that are saying that we should not be looking at the issues of our society, the undercurrents. I think as the art world, we have a responsibility to advance our society. And I think too long in looking at the old movies and looking at the old things, we allowed the politicians to get involved and listen and regulate in that. I think it put us back a number of years from advancing and truly being able to recognize what the truth is. And I think that's it's happening. And I think, so not necessarily change, but a continuation of the change that's happening.
I would like to see more recognition from society at large of the importance of art in general. Not just in film art, but in art, in creativity, in expression, in every facet, dance, painting, sculpture, all of it, all art. That this is, from the very earliest days, one of the remnants of things that we have. It's art. The stories that we tell about ourselves. That's humanity, and that's the history that we have. And we choose to negate that and say it's not important, but that's what our history has shown us is humanity and teaches humanity. And we need to start recognizing that and funding that and nurturing that, because it ultimately allows us as individuals, but also as a society, to grow and be better.
I think that's still true. Absolutely. I think that, the society at large needs to still recognize it, but I think some of that also has to come from the art community itself. If we push the envelope, it's going to create discussions. A Black Little Mermaid, look at the furor that's creating and causing, but also look at what it's doing and the conversation that's now being had around it, that one thing. So I think art has that art has a responsibility to do that, to force the conversations. Yeah.
This is awful to say. Bubble Witch.
Bubble Witch.
I am addicted to Bubble Witch.
Bubble Witch.
The game, it's a game app. It is awful. It is awful, 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 but I play it whenever there's a downtime. I'm not reading. It is the numbing brain distraction. Unless I've got work that I need to do, if I'm on my phone, I'm checking emails, I'm checking Instagram, I'm checking Facebook, and then I'm on Bubble Witch.
Hasn't changed. I'm at level 4573 or something like that. Professionally, staying focused, doing the work. Fortunately, the help has come from externally. This is why the Finding Your Tribe thing is so good, because helping others with their stuff, their work, helps you with yours, help you stay focused on yours. Supporting the wins of other people, cheering them on, being excited about their successes helps you stay positive about your own stuff. So that's another reason that your tribe is so good.
As far as career-wise, the biggest thing that I'm struggling with is the next level, cracking that next level. This is both a curse and a blessing. It keeps me unique. It is very niche. It is not commercial. It is not easy. And so the challenge is finding an agent or a manager and casting directors who recognize that I represent a big sect of society that doesn't fit into this normal mold that, but it's still castable, and that my talent is there. And if you want to cast me in the lead role, this grows back. But it takes months to grow out. And so if you want me to shave it, then you better give me some reason to do it. Because right now, this is what is getting me the jobs. This is what's getting me, this is what's getting me on set and keeping me active and in the moment, in the performance.
Yeah. I would add not just casting directors, but directors and producers as well. That it's the industry. The decisions aren't made at that level as far as managers and stuff. It's usually made higher up.
I don't know. There are things that I know that family has an immediate need with. Traveling would always be an amazing thing because you get to experience so much and learn so much. As far as industry-wise, career-wise, investing in the future of people like you, being able to recognize work that is being done by people that I know who always struggle with the financing, being able to just say, here's the money, go do it. Make it fantastic, but do it with passion. Go do it. If it was a blank check that we could just write, funding art in school, funding art, the stuff that you guys had to pay for to get where you are, the studying of filmmaking and screenwriting and lighting and directing and casting and all of those things, and painting and writing and all of that should be funded. And so if there's a blank check, why not just fund it?
Yeah, it hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. Just being able for people to be able to live their passion. You stayed the course. And we're true. That's it. I did a movie, which I'm hoping will come out in Christmas time. Supposedly it's slated for that. I don't know if it's going to be Hallmark, Lifetime, CW, OWN, whatever, one of those Christmas movies, because they wanted an enthusiastic florist. I think that's the new code word for gay. Enthusiastic. I've seen a number of castings listed for an enthusiastic individual, so I believe that's our code word for gay now. My friend Lauren McCann just finished shooting yesterday, finished shooting on a short that she was doing called Ms. Pink, that we all supported her in, and she reached out to a bunch of people to help her with, and so I'm one of the characters in that, which is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to the series that you guys are shooting at some point being finished and able to be seen, because the work that's going into it, it's fun. I'm enjoying hearing the talk and the laughter, and it sounds like it's going to be a good story. It looks like it's going to be a good story. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it.